Well, look who stopped in to. Are you going to fan the Flames, or are you going to try to put them out with the Thunder here? What are you going to do, man? Look how he's shaking his head like you don't know what to do, huh?
Man, that was bad news Bears. Bad news Bears.
So where do I start? Like, okay. Let's start here. Did Russell Westbrook play well? Let's just start there.
I don't think he played bad. I thought he played pretty good. I thought he pressed a little bit late, but I mean, that's what you expect from him. No one else was doing anything. You look at the stat line.
That's true.
No one else was doing anything across the board. So
there is a part of me, and I have been getting. Well, let me do this first, because I will defend Russ in one aspect. But we've been pop me up here, Todd. We've been laughing that the left foot isn't quite talking to the right foot today as it pertains to both Scott Brooks and Russ addressing the media. So, like, for instance, Scott seems like, and this is very bizarro Scott Brooks here, because he's usually defense guy. He's usually defense. We predicate ourselves on defense, and it sounded like the reason for losing was A, they got outworked a bunch, and B, the offense was the problem. You tell me whether I've got it right here.
You tell me.
You tell me. Here's Scott Brooks.
We have to do a better job of moving the basketball. We have to do a better job of getting to our spots. We have to do a better job of just playing together. But that all goes down to they outworked us on both ends, and we have to do a better job, and we have to do it soon.
So he talks about sharing the basketball and stuff like that. So it seems like there's a little bit of frustration with the offense in his soundbite there, right? I mean, it sounds like both ends.
Yeah.
But then Russ gets asked, okay, so they hear from Scott, right? And he's like, offense isn't very good. So they ask Russ specifically, so what was wrong with the offense tonight? Okay, and here's his answer.
It wasn't offense. I mean, we just didn't get stops when we needed to. They hit some open shots, kind of stuck around throughout the whole game, and end up winning.
So left foot's kind of not talking to the right. Like, the offense is a problem. For Scott to have his first words be something offensive oriented is surprising to me. And it makes me think that I believe him. For him to go off his usual defensive stance, cookie cutter defensive stance, and talk about how they're not sharing the basketball, and then Russ goes, "Nah, it's not offense." I feel like he was like, "Nah, I had a 40-point game. It's all right on offense." You know what I mean?
No, it was both. In all honesty, when you look at what the West is trying to do, they're trying to play like Golden State. You can tell Scott's going small, and he's been trying to go small. He's been shifting his lineups, and that's just to get guys on the floor that can score more points. They're bringing in shooters and guys that can hit shots from the perimeter. They're not bringing in big men. They rebound. They know if they want to come out of the West, it's going to run through Golden State. It's going to run through Memphis. That's the way you got to get out of the West. It was offense. Offense was stagnant, but you got, one of the top scorers in the world sitting on the sideline. So it's hard to, produce offense. And as we talked about in the pregame show yesterday, some of those guys that are handling the ball now, those are guys that don't normally handle the ball and create shots for themselves. Their shots are actually created by Russell and Kevin, drawing attention. So in saying that, it can make the offense a little stagnant. Defensively, there's just not a lot of effort, especially in the rotations and things like that. Everyone's a step slow, and in this game against really good teams and even against bad teams, guys are just very talented. You need to make sure that you're, a half a step over a little bit earlier, because you have to get there, and guys are quick.
Sorry, Todd. Is part of that the opponent they're playing? Like, I mean,
not always. Not always. I mean, guys are good.
Explain that they're steps slow. Like, I mean, what? Are we not at urgency point yet? Or what?
And I don't
Maybe
think
we're not.
And sometimes it's just, you have to be a good defender. You got to know and put forth the effort to play defense. But it doesn't matter, because any guy in the NBA, I mean, that's why they're in the NBA. They can put the ball in the basket. They did at some point in time at their school when they were in college or high school. But being a step slow just means you have to be a step over a little bit further. If you're not a rotation guy, you have to get over a little bit closer so you can actually make that rotation.
Westbrook had 40 last night. I haven't seen someone shoot in the MSG like that since Allen Houston on March 16, 2003. When he had 50 against the Milwaukee Bucks. My 21st birthday, Allen Houston went for 50 against Desmond Mason.
Okay. You brought that up. He brought that up.
I found that the other day. I forgot to mention it.
We talked about that.
No, I want to ask you, Desmond, one of the things that Scott Brooks has routinely done when a guy like Westbrook or a guy like Durant gets hurt. Not so much Westbrook because Reggie plays with the first team a bunch. But when a guy like Durant is out, instead of moving, Amaro into the starting lineup, he moves Perry Jones, who in the 8 previous games had played 12 minutes total. He moves him into the starting lineup. In 2 straight games, he plays 24 minutes. As a player, is it tough to ask Perry Jones to come in and contribute in 24 minutes after being on the bench for 8 straight games, or is that part of the deal? I mean, should he be able to come out and play on a moment's notice like that and be okay? Or do you like it better where they kind of – because I think what Brooks is doing is he's trying to keep the second unit the same.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you move Perry Jones into the starting lineup. Do you like it better that way, or do you like it better where you move someone from the second unit into the first unit, someone new into the second unit?
If you're Perry Jones and you're not playing, you should embrace any minutes you get on the floor. And you should go out. I mean, you got plenty of energy. You're not playing night in and night out. So you should go out, utilize all that energy. 24 minutes in an NBA game is not very long. Go out, put forth the effort. You're probably playing in, 6-7 minute slots. Go out, put forth the effort when you're out on the floor. Do everything that you can. Against Melo last night. Melo's a tough guard. I mean, for anybody in the NBA. But if you're only going to be on him for 6 minutes and you're going to get a 4 or 5 minute break, bang him up, man. Just, deny him the ball, work hard. And last night it was kind of like, I played 38 minutes. So you kind of had that feel that's how he was approaching the game. He has to come out and produce. He has to come out and do something. He has to come out and be aggressive. Get some fouls. I don't care what you do, but do it with energy and effort. But when you're young like that and you're looking for minutes, it doesn't matter when coach puts you in. You got to go out and play.
Desmond Mason with us here in studio, as he is on Tuesdays and Thursdays for the 10 o'clock hour. And we're going to do top 4 with him in the final segment today. And I thought maybe we could do a little hashtag Ask Mason again today. You give it that?
Fun. It's always fun.
By the way, Todd, he texted me coming in and he said, we got to do some more Throwback Thursday music. He did a little TBT on me. He did a Throwback Thursday.
Yeah, I did.
He was feeling.
I've been listening to a bunch of 90s R&B myself after the last few weeks.
It's
been my Pandora station of choice here.
Well, I do have a request today because it's probably my go-to song that, at least of the ones we did not play last week, my go-to song would have probably had to have been Shy. If I ever fall in love.
Oh, so good. Then you got to follow. Then Comforter comes in after that. I mean, it's just like they're endless. They're endless. It's like,
that's right.
Oh man, I was in love from like age 10 to.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah. So we will get to Throwback Thursday on the old on the ones and twos, if you will. Here in the Whisper Zone.
Oh, the Whisper Zone.
That's right. Here in just a little bit. All right. So, I always laugh at people, and the rest of the. This is the one you went to. So
it's good stuff.
I listened to that this morning. I swear to God.
No, you did.
I swear to God. I got it on my Spotify. I swear to God. Swear to God.
So you know what he did? He stole your Spotify password. He's looking at all the songs you're playing.
Remember they're wearing those silk pajamas in this video?
Yeah, they were. Oh my God.
Chili was looking good in this video.
Left eye had her patch on.
That's right.
Chili's always.
Chili was it.
You go with this or Red Light Special?
Red Light Special.
Okay.
I like Red Light Special too.
All right, so we went from Thunder to TLC and back to Thunder. Got it. Only here. All right. So I get made fun of, and it's out of fun. I mean, people. I don't have a problem with people doing it here at the station. I always get mad and they're like, oh, Zach's probably going to poo-poo this, but it's a must-win. And I always I make fun of them for calling it a must-win. They make fun of me for making fun of them for calling it a must-win and all that stuff. And there are a lot of people jumping off the ship. I mean, they are after a loss to an 8-win team, even with Kevin Durant out, they're like, okay, something ain't right here. We see we see Kevin Durant's brother this time, not Russell's, but Kevin Durant's brother last night on Twitter Changes have got to be made. SMH, shake my head.
He then tweeted this morning he wasn't talking about the team.
Yeah, right. Yeah, of course. It happened right after the buzzer where he tweeted the original thing, but it had nothing to do with the Thunder. Changes got to be made.
Had to be talking about his cable service or something. Must have gone out on him.
So
I doubt that.
Yeah. So, what do you say to those people? Help me out, because they don't listen to me. They don't want to hear from some radio gas bag telling them to calm down, to chill out. And maybe I'm wrong to begin with. I mean, I could be wrong to begin with, too. So what do you say to those people about, that's it, I'm through with this team, they're losing to 8 wins? What do you say to those people? Help me, help you.
I mean, it's jumping the gun a little bit, but, in the big scheme of things, it's jumping the gun. They were talking a year or two ago, when the team had a little bit of a roller coaster ride last year, and Scott Brooks should be fired, blah, 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 blah. And we've had this debate over and over and over again. I've had it with John Rhodey, not a debate, but a conversation with John Rhodey and David Garrett during pregame is, find me 3 coaches better that's available. That's better than Scott Brooks. They can make these guys play for him. Those coaches don't exist. They just don't exist. There's some assistants that are pretty good, but they're assistants for a reason. There's no head coaches available in the game right now that's better than Scott Brooks. And if you give me a few, you got Pop. I think Steve Kerr's good, but it's still his jury's out. Mark Jackson was good, but he got fired after a good season. Eric Spoelstra's never going anywhere. Some of the young coaches you can kind of argue that, but in the big scheme, Doc Rivers not going anywhere. So in the big scheme of things, there's no coaches available that's better than Scott Brooks. So I think people need to calm down from that standpoint. And another standpoint is that they've had a lot of injuries. It's thrown off their rhythm all season. They still need pieces. There's some pieces that they need to be competitive. I think the bench has to be stronger consistently. So I think there's some bench that needs to happen. I think it just needs a guy that just attacks the boards all the time. Just eats glass, could care less to shoot. I've said this for 3 years. A guy like Reggie Evans, I've said that name for 3 years. A guy like him could change the dynamic of the game.
Are they pretty good rebounding basketball, though?
They've always struggled rebounding. When you look at statistics, you can say, okay, well, maybe they middle of the pack. But, a couple years ago, they were bottom. Everybody was talking that Serge, with his athleticism and his ability, that he should be averaging double-digit rebounds, when I think he was averaging 5 or something like that a couple of years ago. Just because you're in the middle of the pack, I think, it's situational rebounds. They need to have big rebounds when it's time to have big rebounds. And that's what they don't do. They give up a couple of offensive rebounds in a row. They don't attack the offensive glass very well. Those things can change the dynamic of a game very easily. But
certainly don't attack it well when Serge is shooting 9 3-pointers in the game.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you can look at a team and you can say, yeah, there's some things that need to be done and changed within the team, but to start saying Scott Brooks needs to be fired and all, that's just ridiculous.
How much is head coaching in the NBA a fit?
That's the biggest thing. Again, sometimes you just have to let players play. Just manage personalities.
Certain coaches couldn't manage the personalities. Good coaches couldn't manage the personalities in Oklahoma City, though, right?
No, that's why George Karl, he said it. He was very candid. He's like, I hate rookies. I'm not a young guy coach. I am. PJ Carlesimo was the same way. Not a young guy coach. Those guys want veteran-oriented teams. And then you have some guys like Nate McMillan, who's a really good young guy coach, and Dwayne Casey up in Toronto, a really good young guy coach. Eric Spoelstra just keeps his mouth shut and let the players play. That's fine. Just manage the personalities around him. I think Phil Jackson was a personality guy as well. Popovich is an X and O guy. He is a coach. So, all those things, Scott Brooks has the respect of these guys. And that is massive in the game. When you lose that, you lose your team. When you lose your team, you lose your job.
Well, here's where I get both sides of the argument hitting me. I can feel fans over here yelling at me on this side, and I can feel fans over here yelling at me on this side. And that is this, as it pertains to Scott Brooks in particular. A lot of fans will go, Scott Brooks doesn't know X's and O's. It's a limited offense. He has no idea. He only runs, a couple of different play sets, and they're all the simplest play sets ever. He really doesn't know how to do X's and O's, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I've got the other side that sound like you that go, sometimes you just got to let these players just go. Just let them off their leash and go. But if they do, then it gets misconstrued, or is it being misconstrued as, well, Scott Brooks ain't playing, he ain't coaching them. They're not even running plays. Look at them. I mean, so which one is it? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, and this is all due respect to fans that watch the game. There's a lot more that goes on within the game and within practice than what you see on the court. And I think people see things on the court and they watch other teams and they try to compare teams and they say, well, why isn't Oklahoma City doing this and why? It's like Perry Jones comes out and we have this conversation as well. Jeremy Lamb's shooting, midway. He's shooting. I think he's the fourth best 3-point shooter on the team by percentage. Yeah. It's like, why isn't Jeremy Lamb playing many more points or many more minutes? I'm like, the reason he's not playing is because he's not productive. Period. Not consistently anyway. And so you can't really say, Anthony Morrow came out and he had 15 points the last 3 games. Why ain't he getting more minutes? Because he's not going to do that for 20 games. Like, that's the difference. And so people have to see that. Scott Brooks, the NBA is based off of pick and rolls and isolations, and I don't care what team you are, outside of San Antonio and now Atlanta. Pick and rolls, isolations, every offense ends that way. Doesn't matter. So in saying that, Oklahoma City is not doing anything different than the rest of the NBA. For them, it's just they've been injured. They have to be more consistent. They have to get their chemistry back. They have to put more pieces in play. And then they're a better team. But right now, they just have all these things that are against them that makes it hard to watch them play and makes it hard for them to be consistent to win games.
And I think this is part of the frustration, too, Todd. And Des, you get listeners that are like this, and fans are like this, and I get it. I'm just tired of the robotic answers. Someone check Scotty's pulse. Is he alive, or is he a puppet with empty eyes? It all gets lost in the translation. Is what ends up happening. Is that you don't get, the coach doesn't say exactly what you want him to say in defeat. Yeah, and it's like, and that's, I think, some of the frustration. This happens in every sport. I think some of the frustration gets built from there, doesn't it? I mean,
coming out and telling the media we stunk, we're terrible, that doesn't work with pros, does it?
Yeah, well, there's just certain ways to approach the situation. Scott, and it's in personality as well. For instance, this is Eddie Sutton when in college, and in an NBA, it's virtually the same in this realm. It depends on the coach. Eddie Sutton. Well, how was the game last night? Well, we just didn't play well. We didn't compete. We could have been better on offense. We didn't have our rotations on defense, blah, 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 blah. This is Bobby Knight. Our team sucked tonight. My guys didn't come out to compete. They got their butts kicked, and they'll pay for it tomorrow. 2 different guys, 2 different approaches. But at the end of the day, they said the same thing. Scott Brooks is more on the Eddie Sutton side of things. He's not going to lash out like that. He never has. And if people want him to do it now, it's ridiculous.
Right.
He hasn't done it since,
different. Right.
He hadn't done it since day one. So why would you start? You build something with players and you build a rapport with them and you deal with them a certain way. Why would you change that now? You deal with, if you're going to yell at them, do it in practice behind closed doors.
We should do this. Like, we should just talk Thunder and then every once in a while just drop in a different song.
Oh my God!
This is a great
sweet lady.
This is a great one.
Tyrone, right?
Tyrese.
Come
on, man! Fast and the Furious, baby.
Fast and Furious.
Coca-Cola commercials way back in the day. This is right now going on Spotify. I don't have this one yet. Sweet lady.
This is one of my favorites too, growing up.
Sweet lady, would you be my sweet love?
This is what we should do. We should have Des sing them.
Just do like ad-libs in the background.
Oh, if you want Des singing, I can get you that.
Get out the Hornets rap.
We can have We Them Hornets on a minute's
We
notice.
Them Hornets. Yeah.
I just do like the background ad-libs, like Kurt Franklin.
Oh yeah,
sweet lady.
You did. I haven't forgot about that too. We are going to put into the set, maybe throw it on YouTube or something. The Desmond Mason playing Whisper Zone DJ.
The Whisper Zone.
Here's another one from.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're my lady.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
I'm
gonna have to make a playlist too now. I really am.
This is another good one.
Really good. I forgot about this one.
Todd got it going on back there.
It would have taken me years to remember this one on my own.
He made a lot of mixtapes.
I am back here on the 1s and 2s.
He made a lot of mixtapes.
Oh, you know it, man. When you look like me, you had to do something out of the box. Mixtapes, flowers, all that stuff.
Everything.
All right, back to.
I was the check yes or no guy. You know it.
All right, back to the Thunder as we skip back and forth. Did you ever? I mean, you bounced around to a couple different teams. Did you ever have the urge to play well against a former team?
Absolutely. Yeah. When I was traded from Seattle.
You think that's you think that had anything to do at all with Lance Thomas playing halfway decent last night for the Knicks? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you tell me. I don't know.
I don't think he did anything outside of what he did in Oklahoma City. I mean, when he was in Oklahoma City and he was starting, in the early season, part of the season, the injuries. I mean, he did a really good job.
He plays hard. Scott Brooks made mention of it in this post game too. It was, and this is Todd and I speculating because Scott was very you almost have to read between the lines with Scott a little bit. But to me, I read between the lines as they asked him about how Lance Thomas played, your former player, and the way I got his response was, it was Scott saying, "I wish my players played that hard."
Yeah,
I mean that's kind of if Lance Thomas had the 82 game effort level of the average NBA player, he would not be in the NBA, right? Or would he?
I don't think so. The one thing about Lance Thomas is when I see him step out on the floor, he's hungry. Even maybe he's not the most talented guy on the floor.
I was the same way in high school. I was hungry when I stepped out on the floor too. But I was literally hungry. I was like, I smell those concession stand nachos.
Just like, they would have
wafted around the corner. We had to warm up right by the concession stand.
He's always hitting on himself, man.
All the time.
Todd. It's like I hate to laugh, but it is funny.
Hey, you know what? I'm laughing with you, bro.
Yeah, that's right. We are. I'm laughing because I am that guy.
I like to laugh. I just love to laugh.
Can I ask you this, Desmond? Who the hell is Langston Galloway?
I don't know. Oklahoma City tends to do that, though. Just get guys paid.
I mean, who is?
Oh,
Did you know who he was, Zach?
No idea who that guy is.
Like, it sounds like a kid that goes to Cassidy or something.
Yeah.
Langston Galloway.
I thought he was like a writer in the late 1800s.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Places we would find the name Langston Galloway. Go. That we think we'd find the name Langston Galloway. Shakespeare novel.
That's a good one.
Civil War.
Oh, yeah. Civil War. Civil War stories.
General Langston Galloway.
That's right. Professor Langston Galloway.
Professor Langston Galloway. This is good. Where else?
Well,
Nobel Peace Prize winner Langston Galloway.
A Triple M Ranch intern, because their two previous interns were Gatlin and Chisholm.
That's right.
So Langston Galloway would fit in perfectly.
So they pull, The Mid-Morning Maze pulls their intern straight out of the Civil War.
A notable astrologer.
Oh, yep. Very good. Very good. That's a fun game we just got to play in there. That was good.
You mentioned Nobel Peace Prize, right? Senator Langston Galloway.
Yeah,
that's another good one.
That he would have to be a senator from Massachusetts.
Yeah, it also it sounds a little down south though too.
It does. Yeah.
Oh, I guess so. The senator from South Carolina, somewhere around there, right? The senator from Louisiana would Langston Galloway. Would he be from Louisiana?
This is Senator Langston Galloway. You have to say it like that.
Yeah. Somewhere like that. A guy on the text line. This is good. See, this guy gets our show. What is the best "we stunk" speech of all time? So you went Bobby Knight, you went Eddie Sutton. Like what the "we stunk" speech of all time?
Oh, the best one is Jim Mora. The playoffs. That one was Jim Mora.
That was a good one.
That's the best. We can't even win a game.
I'll tell you where I default to, but I don't think my catalog is very big, or at least maybe I'm missing some pages. But Dennis Green, right?
That one's good too. The other one,
we let him off the hook.
Who was the coach of the Buccaneers? Why am I drawing a blank? The old USC coach that coached the Buccaneers.
Oh, Anderson, right?
No, I don't think it was him. Anyways, he was asked once about his team's execution. What do you think about your team's execution? He said, "I'm all for it."
You're not thinking of USC and Buccaneers?
I thought he was at USC.
Or I'm thinking the old Rams coach. I'm still blanking on his name, though, in the 80s. But anyway, we're going to have to think about that. We're going to think on that a little bit. What is the best "we stunk" speech of all time? All right, I thought of a song that we're going to play. We're going to bring it back from break.
John McKay is who I was thinking of.
John McKay. You're
yes.
right. That's who it is. I'm going to I'm going to play it when we get back. This is not necessarily 80s. I'm sorry, 90s. Maybe it is late 90s. But a song that I just fell in love with maybe just a couple of years ago, even though it's a little older than that. All right, we do that. A little hashtag Ask Mason. Let's do it. Hashtag Ask Mason. And we're going to do the top 4 in the last segment. Hashtag Ask Mason. You want to take it to break? Take it to break. Be DJ. Come on.
I know you hear me, baby. This is Midnight Love, 107.7 The franchise. You know we belong together, baby. TLC. Close your eyes, look at the stars, and listen. We'll be right back.
So good. Dez loves it. DJ Dez.
DJ
Dez. Stefan on Twitter. I got you, boy. Don't forget Music Soul Child on your playlist. I got you covered there. All right, it's coming. Patrick, you guys are, this is on Twitter. You guys are killing it today. Hashtag Great Radio. Jerry on Twitter. He wants to do Ask Dez. If Dez became a late night DJ, would there be a baby boom with a lot of kids named Dez in 9 months?
Craig also tweets,
Absolutely.
After listening to Dez take it to break, I feel like I need a cigarette and maybe a pregnancy test.
That's the best one.
That's so great.
It's so good.
I got you, Stefan. Pot it up. Oh, wait a minute. Pot this up right here. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is my jam right here. This is only from like 5 years ago, but
That's so good,
This
though.
was now this is one of those songs that you could have put back in the mid-90s.
Yeah. Music Soul Child. Watching the video too. The video's so
The
good.
video's pretty good. We're watching the video as you guys are hearing it. While you hear this song, let's keep this song in the background while we do some Ask Dez here. All right? Hashtag Ask Dez, hashtag Ask Mason on Twitter. And we will get to some of these right now. We're going to do top 4 in the next segment. James. By the way, get these in now. First come, first serve. So let's go. And tag me on them at Big Easy so we can make sure we get these in here. James on Twitter. How many pairs of shoes do you own? Who is the NBA player that you hate the most and why now and all time? So let's start with the shoes.
He owns one less than he did last year because he gave them to us.
That's right. That's right. We got the big cowboy orange shoes in here. What size you wear?
16.
16. That is a big ass 16 shoe right there. It matches the shoe box, the old Nike shoe box that you always got, the orange one.
You know what they say about
Those are
guys
the
with
same
big
orange.
feet, big shoes. Doesn't surprise
right.
me. That
Big
he wears a
shoes.
size 16.
Big socks.
That's right.
How many pairs
Both
of shoes do you own? You're a shoe guy.
I'm gonna probably say maybe 60. 50.
Ooh,
Oh, not quite a Mel DeMarcos then.
Yeah, I can't. I mean,
I would have guessed more.
No, and once they get kind of scuffed up old or something, I donate them.
Are you the guy that when you get your foot stepped on, you lick your finger and you reach down and wipe the shoe clean?
Oh, you can't have a scuff. I used to carry a rag in my
I had a
pocket.
friend like that in high school.
You can't have a scuff.
I
can have a scuff.
I had a friend like that in high school. I played basketball with him. He'll remain nameless, Corky Tomlin. And in the middle of a game, he stopped to wipe his shoe off like it was a fast break. For the other team, he got his foot stepped on. He'd stop, licked the finger, went down, wiped the scuff off.
I would have been so mad.
Got to look good, man.
By the way, while we're doing these Ask Masons here, there are other people texting in other occupations for Langston Galloway. This is good. Yeah, we just need to play music this whole segment,
That's
just
awesome.
underneath it.
That's the best.
Texter says Langston Galloway, attorney at law.
Yes, I like it.
That's a good one.
Another one says White House Chief of Staff, Langston Galloway.
Sounds like a character
pretty
on
good.
House of Cards, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it could be President Langston Galloway. Really, any sort of politician.
I just want to break out in like melody. You take it all.
So great. All right, let's see. Jared on Twitter. Oh, no, wait a minute. Let's do the other one from James. The NBA player you hate the most now and all time, and why?
So to watch now, or
I think
just in
it's
general?
all up to your interpretation.
I mean, I don't hate anybody. Let's just put it that way. I've never hated a person. just dislike because I played with him and we always had some run-ins, but I appreciate his game 100%, and that's Kobe. You know, we always bumped heads.
I figured you would.
We always bumped heads. And then back, you know, when I played was Rip Hamilton. Like, we just absolutely, he was the one guy I wouldn't give 5 to before the game. Ever. I don't know, I just didn't like him.
Was that the one whose mother came up and talked to you?
Yeah, really nice lady. I mean, very, very nice lady.
And you were polite back.
No, yeah, it was kind of funny. We just joked back and forth, and but you know, he hit a teammate of mine. He never cut his nails, so he always scratched me up. We guarded each other.
That's the oddest. That's enough for me not to like him.
Yeah,
just the fingernail thing. I couldn't do that.
It's the worst.
I forgot how good Tony Braxton looked in this video.
We look at Todd through
like a white full body suit.
We're looking across the glass, and Todd's mouth is on the floor.
I know, he's like days ago,
laying on the board.
That's exactly right.
Tony Braxton's making me high in here.
Light candles. You just lit some candles.
Good Lord.
Colby Daniels tweeted in, NBA player, artist, and now late night love DJ. What can't Desmond do? Great question.
Can't look as good as Tony Braxton's looking right here. Guarantee you that.
Jared on Twitter. This is an interesting question. Ask Dez. We're doing hashtag Ask Dez. Text him in or tweet him in right now. Ask Desmond, what was the best Christmas present you got from a teammate or coach?
Christmas present. I mean, we didn't really. I mean, it was
none of that?
all very general. Yeah, it was just, you know, one day you want somebody to give you a book. You know, it was real, just general.
Did you ever get a gift from an award-winning player? Like,
yeah, Gary Payton was probably the first, and I think, and I talk about him almost every segment. But he gave us these watches. I still have mine. I wear it still pretty often. He gave us these watches after he got selected to the All-Star game, and he said, and he had them all engraved with our name and a little message from him, and then there was his signature inside, and I'm just saying, you know, thanks for all the help for getting to the All-Star game.
That's cool.
It's like really cool quorum watches.
So Colby Daniels is listening right now, right? So we have to play his theme song, right?
Oh, rocking. I know you out there, Colby.
You're dueling with him. Is what you're doing. You're dueling with what's his name? I'm blanking on this guy's name in the song.
I think it's Dino, isn't it?
Is it
H-Town
Dino?
is the name of the group.
Yeah, it is. Yep. Rocking.
Jared says PGA professional Langston Galloway. PGA Tour professional Langston Galloway. Let's see. What kind of question is this from Calvin? Hashtag Ask Dez. The butt ugliest teammate or player of all time.
I don't know, man. I just really didn't get into checking dudes out like that.
Oh, this is the question I used to ask players all the time, and I haven't asked it in a long time. Guy who smelled the worst.
Peja Drobniak when I played in Seattle. He would probably take like the 15-second showers, no soap.
What?
Yeah.
I would have thought Robert Swift had a chance at that one.
Nah, man, Peja Drobniak.
Well, somebody.
I
I remember getting the same answer from like 3 different players in the NBA whenever I asked this question. I think it might have been Anthony Mason.
Yeah, I play with Mace. I don't.
No?
No, I don't know. I mean, I
must not have been him then.
Yeah, but
I can't remember. Somebody will tell me who it was.
How about City with the ugliest women?
I wasn't out. You know, in all honesty, I wasn't out.
Yeah, you said that before that your
Yeah.
teammate, you stayed in and.
Yeah, I just normally
Painted.
I kept it real low key, man.
I'm sorry, we talked over the chorus.
Langston Galloway, croquet grand champion.
That's good. The Langston Galloway theory.
That's right. That's exactly right. Langston Galloway, escaped slave turned author. I like how in depth we're getting with these now.
That's good stuff.
We got Langston Galloway's whole life story.
That's
now.
right. That's right. That's basically what's going on. Well, at first he was a kid who was in slavery and
Harvard laureate Langston Galloway.
Let's see, Langston Galloway. Any rapper's real name?
That's true. That's a
Is
good
it
one.
really?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I only
all
know
rappers
them
have
by their rap
yeah.
name.
really
They do.
unstreet names like,
Yeah, like
Calvin Broadus.
Sean Carter.
Yeah, Sean.
That's
Carter.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Langston Galloway, known as like AWOL. AWOL's new album.
From Craig on Twitter, hashtag Ask Des, top 5 hottest female singers of all time. Since I think that was probably spawned from the Tony Braxton song.
I mean, obviously Tony Braxton is one. Tamia is another one.
Yeah.
Grant Hill's wife, really pretty lady.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey, young Mariah Carey, I think.
Hey, let me tell you something about Mariah Carey.
Old Mariah Carey, still not terrible.
Yeah, I agree. Now, there may be a little extra junk in the trunk, but
But now her craziness is a huge turn.
It is a turn off. It is a turn off. Now, did I hear that right? That her and Nick Cannon are no more?
Yes. He had a big Mariah tattoo. He got covered up too on his back.
Why would you do that anyway?
I mean, he got her name.
Yeah, that's no bueno, right?
All the way across from shoulder to shoulder on his back. I'm pretty sure.
All the way across?
You Google Nick Cannon Mariah tattoo, you'll see it.
That's not what I imagined myself Googling today.
Nick Cannon's back. Yeah, that's probably not a good
Google.
Google.
What you type
yeah.
in? Nick Cannon's back.
Yeah. You Googled what?
Google's looking at my search history, going, "Huh? What?"
That radio station.
Jordy asked Desmond, "What was your favorite meal at a local restaurant on the road, and what city was it in?" Yes, there we go.
It would be. I mean, it'd be Dallas. It was a soul food spot that I used to always go to, and I just blanked because another one is at L.A. out in Marina Del Rey's place called Aunt Kizzy's, and it's not there anymore. But Aunt Kizzy's was probably the best on the road. Dallas was so much home, so I don't want to say that was the road. But Aunt Kizzy's in Dallas and Marina Del Rey was really good. Soul food.
But I know I'm a rookie, obviously on the. Great song on the restaurant scene in Dallas for sure, because I've only been there a handful of times. But for our anniversary last year, the lady and I went to Capitol Grill, and let me tell you, I'm in. I mean, I sang this. I mean, I serenaded her this song on the anniversary at the table.
Todd's killing me right now.
Oh, I'm telling you, this is great. Now, this is one of the few songs, though, that I liked. That they made an a cappella version and a version with music, and I liked the version with the music better. Usually, I'm an a cappella guy, but I like the version with music.
You want me to
better.
find the music version for you? We can tell. I like the a cappella version.
Both killer.
Yeah, they're both great. All right, so that's good stuff with hashtag Ask Dez here. We're going to do top 4 today, and I have not teased it at all, so I'm going to really need your help, Twitter, and text people.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
The music is so good. That's the slow jam voice.
Yeah.
Just
like you. See, we all get it.
We all get it.
All right, so here's our top 4 today. Oh, by the way, James has one more. Ask Mason, favorite car or truck?
Just in general,
Yeah.
I'm assuming. I got a 63 Lincoln. The suicide doors, yeah. That's my. It was always my favorite car. And the 68 Camaro was another one that I really loved. My dad's working on one for me.
How often are you out of it?
Not very often. It's put away. Yeah.
One more hashtag Ask Mason. This comes in on. This comes in from me. Do you have any respect for teammates who give themselves their own nickname, like Zach McCrite did with his nickname?
I did not give out my own
Big
nickname.
Easy.
What are you talking about?
Don't you remember, Desmond, the first time you met Zach? He goes, "I'm Zach, but you can call me Big Easy."
That is not how it worked, obviously. Obviously, that's not how it worked. But you go so far with these is that people start believing it. Like, you got to stop with that.
That's what I'm trying to get. People
I know.
to believe it.
To answer your question, 0 respect. The hibachi, self-acclaimed hibachi, Gilbert Arenas.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
right?
he was called the hibachi.
Huh. I don't think I knew that.
Yep. He called himself that.
I thought, didn't Stacey Augman call himself the Plastic Man?
I think he got that name. Didn't he get it in college?
I thought he gave it to himself in college. But I could be wrong.
I don't know. When Kobe, Black
Well,
Mamba.
Durant tried to give himself a nickname
Kobe,
last
here
year.
you go.
Durant wanted to be called the Servant, didn't he?
Yeah, that didn't.
The Servant?
That's what he wanted to
Did
call
you not
him.
know that?
Yeah.
No, I did not know
All-Star break, he went on a podcast with Bill Simmons down at the All-Star game, and they were asking him about what was the nickname that they were trying to throw at him at the time, like Durantula or Slim Reaper.
The Slim
Yeah,
Reaper,
Slim Reaper.
yeah.
And he was like,
Those are great nicknames.
He's like, what do you think about Slim Reaper?
didn't
He's like,
like it. I thought it was great.
I don't like it. He goes, I think I'd rather be called the Servant. And I think PR might have gotten to him. Somebody's, whether it be Nike or whoever, some PR staff went to him and went, hey, man.
Yeah, Servant's over.
I don't know about the Servant.
Slim Reaper was it.
Durantula was good, too.
Durantula was
Both
good.
of those are
I
good.
love the Slim Reaper.
The Servant.
servant one. Servant. Well, right now he'd have there'd be a servant and a waiter. Waiter, right?
Yeah.
Cisco.
Cisco's the best.
He was great.
Drew
He
Hill
was
and
great.
Cisco?
This is Drew Hill here.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, yeah, but Cisco was the lead guy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
My little brother was 6 years younger than me, and this was like the one guy we really had in common.
man.
You know, he'd be like 15, I guess, and I was like 21. You know, this is about, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
And, we both jammed, too.
This is so good.
We need to have a play. Somebody is asking on Twitter for a playlist of all of these today, Todd, that we have played. Can we do that and maybe tweet it out? We'll have to do some memory, but we could probably come up with something like that. This is a great one.
This is so good.
Todd, you've done it now, and I demand an apology. Brian on Twitter, @BigEasy. This is bull bleep. I liked you until I found out how self-gloating you are. That's on you, Todd. I want an apology now. Seriously. I don't like seeing stuff like that on my Twitter feed. Apologize.
Todd is an international superstar. He's well-versed in Italian cuisine, Asian-made vehicles, and European soccer. Excuse me, football. But management frowns upon Todd's soccer talk. Screw it. Let's sneak in some real quick. Here's 10 seconds of soccer with Todd Lisenbee. Starting now.
The U.S. men's national team loses 3-2 to Chile after leading 2-1 at halftime. Fourth straight game the USMNT has lost after leading at the half. Josie Altidore, Jurgen Klinsmann, and the boys.
And that was 10 seconds of soccer.
Hey, what's poppin', motherfuckers?
Between the college football playoff,
This your boy Antoine D9 coming back to y'all.
bracketology,
So I'm gonna tell y'all what's the top four.
or just those silly power rankings,
Well, how about this? Let's see.
we're always ranking something.
I'm gonna do the top 25.
But we haven't ranked this.
All right. If it'll tell me here. All right, here we go. Well, anyway, forget doing that. I'm gonna give you the top four.
It's time for a brand new and likely terrible top 4 list on 107.7 The Franchise.
Top 4 Bears in honor of... Craig on Twitter. Fire up some Johnny Gill, my.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic one.
That was actually on my list to play.
Was it really?
Yeah.
We do have to come up with a list. Hopefully somebody that's been listening can.
Do you want to play
help
slow
us out.
jams over this, or do you want to play?
No, let's stick with this.
Okay.
Maybe as we go to our final, the final timeout as we close.
All right, you're up first today, Zach.
I'm up first today.
Yep.
All right. Fine. Top 4 Bears. It's in honor of the Grizzlies playing the Thunder this weekend. My number 4, Fozzie Bear, the Muppets. Fozzie Bear, fantastic. One of the Waka Waka Waka, right?
Drummer in the band, right? In the Muppet band, isn't
Was
he
he
the
the
drummer?
drummer?
I think so.
I can't remember. Waka Waka Waka, one of the all-time best lines ever. I mean, seriously, especially from a puppet. Waka Waka Waka. My number 3, Bear Bryant, the arguably the best college football coach of all time. Arguably. Number 2, the Fridge. Refrigerator Perry. The big lineman scored a touchdown. He's a running back. And my number 1 Bear of all time, Jack Nicklaus. The Golden.
Those are good ones. Really good ones.
How about that? I feel good about my list. But this list is so broad, though. If we have any overlap, I'll be surprised, to be honest with you. This list is so... Bears are everywhere, right? Put that down in my quote book. Bears are everywhere. All right. Who's next? Todd?
In fact, I found you've been Googling about bears a bunch.
Bears and
I thought it was a football team, but turns out, listeners, it's not.
yeah, Bears.
It's a different kind of bears that he's been Googling.
And Nick Cannon's back.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Todd.
I will tell you that I totally forgot about the golden bear, and I'm not going to put him on my list because I already had it. Number 4, I went all fictional.
Did you really?
Yep.
Okay.
Number 4, I went with a tie because you have to include these two together. Yogi and Boo Boo. Can't have one without the other, but I went Yogi and Boo Boo.
I actually was I did Google during the break something about bears, but it was Yogi Bear. I couldn't remember Yogi Bear's little brother's name.
Oh, hey Boo Boo.
Yeah.
His son, right?
Was it son?
Believe so.
I was just going to put Boo Boo, but I had to go with Fozzie instead.
I'm going Yogi Bear and Boo Boo tied for 4th. Number 3, Teddy Ruxpin is number 3 on the list.
Remind me on Teddy Ruxpin.
Uh-huh.
Talking Bear.
Was it Talking Bear from what? What am I? I remember the name, but I can't remember the movie.
It was a toy.
It was a toy. Teddy Ruxpin was a toy that everybody wanted in the 80s.
Yep. Little mouth move.
Yeah.
I remember the name, but I gotta remember.
Number 2 on the list.
Gotta Google that.
Winnie the Pooh is number 2 on my bear list.
Oh yeah, Teddy Ruxpin. I wanted that for Christmas like 2 different years in a row.
Everyone from the 80s wanted that.
I never
Christmas.
got it. My parents would
and
never.
Finally,
give
number 1 on the top 4 bears. Number 1 for me. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Oh, there is
Smokey the
overlap.
Bear
There is overlap
on the list.
You got a couple of mine.
What did you? Your
Great
3,
minds think alike, which is why Zach doesn't think anything like us.
Your 3 was Teddy Ruxpin. What was your 2 again?
Winnie the Pooh. Number 1, Smokey the Bear.
Yeah, I don't like your list.
Whatever you say, Big Easy.
So yeah, I don't like your list.
All right, Desmond, top 4 bears. Number 4.
Mike Singletary.
Oh, look at him. Well done. Well done.
Singletary.
Can't play with him. Can't win with him. Can't do it.
My number 3 is Ted.
Oh,
Ted.
yes,
Yes.
Ted. I heard there's a Ted 2 coming out.
Yes.
All right.
Number 2 would Smokey the Bear, which Todd got as well. So I got Smokey the Bear. And then I got number 1 that most people will not know, but he is not my number 1 is my son Elijah, and we call him Elijah Bear.
Really?
Yeah.
Elijah Bear. Now, where'd you come up with that?
I don't know. He's just
Elijah Bear.
Yeah.
Bernstein Bears also were honorable mention for
Bernstein
me.
Bear's a good one.
Paddington Bear, another one that was honorable
Let's
mention.
check out the text line on this.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, some people went totally different than us. This is a great category.
Kara Rice said Harvey Firestein's her favorite bear.
Harvey Firestein, yes. One texter said, bare back, bare breasted. Those are good. Another texter, bare naked ladies. Let's see. Walter Payton. Yeah, we missed on Walter Payton. Walter Payton's probably there.
Yeah.
I'm a Packers fan, so you know I wasn't going to have any Chicago Bears.
Let's see.
Although if I did, it'd be Jay Cutler because he's been helping the Packers win for the last 6 or 7 years.
People are up in arms that Todd, that you do not know who the drummer of the Muppets band.
I wasn't a big Muppets fan.
One person
Is Animal the drummer?
One person says Animal. Another one that just tweeted at me says Gonzo. Are those the same? Is that the same people?
I don't think so.
Gonzo wasn't a bear, I don't think, was he?
Well, who's that? There's the picture. Somebody just sent me the picture.
Gonzo had the long nose.
Yeah, he's not even in the band.
Okay, so that's Animal.
Gonzo
Animal
had
was
the long
drummer.
nose because we had a kid with a big nose in middle school that we might have
We
called
all
Gonzo.
missed on Mike Ditka. Should Mike Ditka have been in there?
Yeah, he should have.
Stop it.
Should Aaron Rodgers have been in there? Cal. He's a cow bear.
He is a cow bear.
Yeah. Why isn't he in your list?
Because he's not better than Winnie the Pooh.
That's
I
terrible.
have standards, Zach.
He did eat honey.
Colby is. This is actually, of all the songs you played today, this one's the worst. This is the worst.
Yeah.
You
You don't like In Vogue?
It's a terrible finish by you. terrible.
All right, I'll try and do better. Hold on.
Redeem yourself.
Talk amongst yourselves.
We always go late with Dez, and the bosses are always mad, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, they're not mad really because this is the only hour all week that they like our show. So.
That is true. Yes. How about? I've got multiple people. Of course, the political people get involved on Bear. Multiple people have chimed in the right to bear arms.
Oh,
why not? Right? Go figure
The
it out.
political people. Hey, good to hear from you guys.
Go figure it out.
Let's see. Any other good ones? This is Johnny Gill here, isn't it? Yeah, this was a
Bare
good
Naked
one.
Ladies.
Yeah, Bare Naked Ladies. We said that one. You only listen to parts of the show, apparently.
Yep. Well, I do. I actually work during the show.
Same here.
Like I have things going on.
All right, I think we've done all the damage here we can do here. All right, why don't you close us out when we go? Take us to break, and we'll talk to you next week here.
Slip on your red dress, ladies. This is Dr. Love. Enjoy your evening. And remember that sweet perfume sure smell good on you. I'll see you the next night. Peace.